The views expressed and opinions given do not necessarily reflect those by the individual hosts and their guests of Z-Talk Radio, its affiliates, or sponsors.
Okay, hello and welcome to Canadian X-Talk Radio. My name's Glenn Ferguson, joined by my wife, as always, as co-host. How you doing tonight, Janessa?
I am doing absolutely bloody wonderful. How does that sound?
We've had a pretty interesting week. We're organising a Paracon next year in the lower mainland of British Columbia. Originally it was scheduled to be in Vancouver, but it looks like we're going to be in Surrey. We have a huge guest list. The planning is immense. We're looking at 8 months. Nine months to get this thing organised and done with. Special guest tonight is it Chris Kehler or Chris Keller?
Kehler,
there you go. I wasn't quite sure. Even though we've met, I met you last time at Winnipeg Paracon 2013.
Yes, we did.
You were also a guest speaker with us. So we already know all about you and what you do. My wife had experienced some of what you actually teach and practice. Could you tell me a little bit about what you do as a healer?
Well, what I do, basically, I'm a healer. To be more precise, a quantum energy healer. So I work with quantum energy, which is the quantum point energy that's within all of us, which is within the universe. It's what conducts within our bodies on a 24-hour, 365-day basis. What I'm able to do, my specialty, is using a pendulum with a series of charts that I've developed in order to find a specific health problem within somebody. So ultimately, somebody comes to me and they've got this health problem, this pain somewhere in their body, or whatever, and the doctors say, we can't find it. We don't know what it is. Try this pill, try that pill, and see if it goes away. And ultimately, people get fed up. They want the real answer. So when you come to me, because I work so openly with the universe and my spiritual guides, I'm able to really pinpoint what the problem is, where it is in the body, and then once I find that, I use sacred geometry such as pyramids. I have one that I developed. It's got 5 different pyramids sitting on top of each other, and the sacred geometry it forms, when you look at the base of it, you can see the Star of David.
Mm-hmm.
So sacred geometry plays a big part in it when working with quantum energy. So basically all I do is I give intent to this pyramid. When I hold it over somebody's head, I tell the certain health problem to go away, and immediately it goes away. So quite often people find relief. Their pain goes from a level 10 to a level 2 in about 30 seconds. For some people, certain injuries, all of a sudden a numbness in a damaged nerve will reactivate. The nerve will reactivate, and all of a sudden the numbness goes away, and that type of thing. So that's basically my specialty. And what I do is I work within a parameter with no parameters, let's say. So I consider that anything whatsoever can be part of a health problem. Mm-hmm. So when I was with you at Paracon, I thought, okay, this is my first Paracon. What am I going to experience? What am I going to see? We're talking about spirits and ghosts. And what I do is I find all the time somebody has got a certain type of spirit within their body that is contributing to the health problems, such as poltergeists, spirits that haven't passed on, that have attached to your body. I even go into the realm of demonic and satanic spirits that are involved. So I get pretty deep exactly into what can be part of the health problem. Move it out. You keep on moving out the garbage, and all of a sudden there's a real health problem, which could be a parasite, which could be a mineral deficiency, a mineral excess, a virus, a bacteria, or something like that.
Janessa, you actually experienced a healing.
Healing on with me. And what was it? It was my sulfur. I was lacking in sulfur, and I did come home and check, and I took sulfur for 18 days.
Wasn't your cats affecting you too?
Yes, the virus that I had, because I was sick, which after that I was no longer sick. We had a cat-borne virus, wasn't it?
Calicky virus, yes.
Yeah. So I did the sulfur when I got home, and I muscle tested myself and figured out how many days I needed, and it was 18 days.
Wonderful, good job.
Yeah. Well, obviously, my mom's a healer as well, so I just ended up doing the muscle testing. Do I need this? Yes. How many days do I need this for? How many pills a day do I need? And so it told me 1 pill a day for 18 days. So there you go.
Good job.
Yeah.
I actually had a long conversation with Scotty Rourke when we were down at Winnipeg, reference spirit attachment, on how it attaches to you, whether it's your own spirit or whatever. But he believes that the spirit is actually on the outside of the body, attached to the human self, I guess you would call it. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, what I find, all I do is do what my pendulum tells me to do. So if it says that there's a spirit attachment in, let's say, the pancreas, I move it out of the pancreas. If it's within the pancreas in the etheric template in the aura, then that's where I move it out. I just follow the instructions. And for me to think logically about where it can be or where it can't be, I think more of it can be anywhere it wants to be.
Yeah.
Okay? There's no parameters, there's no rules that says it cannot go inside the body.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just today, I worked on somebody. Client calls me up and says that her back has been killing her for 2 weeks. She's done absolutely nothing to it. No heavy lifting or straining or anything, and her back is killing her. So I start working on her, and she's full of spirits, of attachments. And oddly enough, 2 weeks ago, she went on some kind of tour, some old house. So she picked up a spirit attachment, and it was inside within the muscles. Okay, I moved it out immediately. Her pain went away. She couldn't thank me enough. It was so easy for me to do because I knew what to work with. But for her, she was at her wit's end. She's gone to chiropractors, doctors. Nobody could help her. But the spirit attachment inside her body was the cause.
Well, as as paranormal investigators, we know that spirits attach very easily if you're not closed off or you haven't protected yourself, and so that's not an unusual thing for us anyway.
No, it's not. You try and explain it to somebody else, somebody on the street, and they'll call the loony bin on you.
Yeah, they'll start laughing their eyes off. So no.
Well, I'm not quite sure how many times we had Janessa pull over to the side of the road so I could puke. Because I've had something in me that wasn't letting go at the time after we've left the investigation. So there you go.
Yeah, I remember we were at the Langley Park there, Fort Langley Park, and oh man, I got a headache. Something attached to me went through and played with my energy. Oh man, did I get sick after that one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got pneumonia, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does the actual removal of that illness or energy occur?
Well, when I use my intent, okay, because of the work I do and my level of energy myself, my vibration, and the tools I work with and where they're connected to, by just using my intent, I just take my big pyramid, hold it toward the body, tell it to leave, and then I've got a spirit guide actually. His name is Red Hawk. He's a Native American spirit guide. And he's the one who takes these entities and these spirits, these ETs, and he takes them away and tucks them into the etheric realm of the universe. So people actually feel an upliftment. They can actually almost feel something leave their body in the form of a big tingle. Sometimes it's a bump. Sometimes it's just a whoosh of energy. And quite often there is a bit of emotion that follows along with it, especially when he moves something demonic out. People generally are going to feel some kind of emotional release.
Mm. How did you feel, Janessa? You actually experienced that kind of removal?
Yeah. There was, just a little bit of a tingle. I think I moved a little bit as well. Obviously I didn't have you had a few problems getting them out of me, I guess.
So sometimes they fight back a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you kept saying, okay, here's another difficult one. That says trying to get them out of me, but, it was a good trip home. That cold went away, that's for sure. That was quite nice, because I was suffering pretty badly, as you know.
Yeah, I saw you were not having fun.
No, I was not having fun. But after that, it basically just, there were still a few sniffles here and there. It doesn't get, your body still has to get a little bit of heal. But, I haven't had it since.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We actually got a chance to watch you performing on Janessa, both myself and Keith Age. And we're both kind of looking at you going, what the hell is going on here? And I'm like, oh, okay. But when we sat there for the extra 5 to 10 minutes that you were actually practicing on Janessa, we started to think, you know what, maybe there's something to this kind of stuff.
Well, there certainly is. This is what I do for a living. 5 days a week, 10 hours a day, I'm in my office, pulling spirits out of people, pulling viruses out of people. You name it, I'm doing it. Now, what's really unique about this work is because it's energy, it can be done over the phone, it can be done over Skype. I've got clients all over the world. Just yesterday I worked on somebody in Germany, the day before in Norway, Australia. I've got about 5 clients. Lots of people in the United States like this work because it's only $50 a session. So it's cheaper to spend $50 than go to the hospital and get a $50,000 procedure done.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, isn't that the truth, huh? Especially in the States.
So what's your success rate at, as far as...
You know what, so far the success rate has been 95%.
Oh, wow.
And the way that my energy is ascending right now, it's gone way up above that. So far, everybody I've worked on in the last 3 or 4 months has received some really good success with it.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, I'm still losing weight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've got a lot more to go, but yeah.
I think you're up to, what, 44 pounds now?
45.
45?
Good for you, Janessa.
Yeah, so, got a long way to go, but it's coming, I just had one of those brain fart moments. But yeah, your healing is neat. I found it quite interesting when you were working on me.
There's not a lot of people doing this type of healing. There's lots of people doing, Reiki and quantum touch and that type of thing. But as far as working with sacred geometry, of course, there are people doing it. But I'm just finding that, the more I'm doing it, the better it's getting. And I'm not really meeting anybody doing this type of work either.
Yeah.
Everybody has taken a course, okay, to learn how to do something. There's not a lot of real natural gifted healers. And that's basically what I'm doing is I took a few courses, took some of the good stuff out of them, and pushed it all aside because you take a course, you're working within that course parameter. So I just work with God and the universe. He tells me what to do, I do it. And anything is possible, anything is attainable when you're working in this direction. So you got to open your mind to the as far as it can go when you're doing energy work. Otherwise, you're stopping short.
Yeah, well, I grew up as a young child with a grandmother and a mother who were spiritual mediums, and they used to take me a lot to the spiritualist churches where they did a lot of spiritual healing, which is pretty much hands-on type stuff. How does that correlate to what you do?
Well, the hands-on stuff, you have to be extremely high in vibration for it to work and ultimately for it to stick. You can do some hands-on healing. I'm not dissing any hands-on healers at all out there, but what I have found is that, okay, it'll work and then the problem will come back because you're not actually getting far enough, deep enough into the energy and the cells of the body. When you're using sacred geometry, it's like an amplifier for your quantum energy, and it goes straight in, yanks it out, and it's gone forever. So that's where I find the big difference. Also, when you're doing hands-on, if you're pulling some kind of demon out of somebody, you're going to get the demon. It's unbelievable how many hands-on healers come to see me for clearings, because they all of a sudden, they picked up a demon as they pulled it out, and now it's in them. They can feel it, and if they do work on somebody with a demon inside them, now that demon is making its rounds. Okay, they're like passing a virus around.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I guess we never asked, I said, unfortunately, I don't think it's in our budget to say we can bring you out, but we can certainly put you on as a speaker if you wanted to come out.
I'd love to. If I can arrange it, I think that would be a lot of fun, especially getting out there with people I've already met. And I love you guys to death. You're a lot of fun. Well, we went out a few nights, and I really enjoyed myself. And I know that, to promote my work, Vancouver would be the perfect place to do it. So
yeah, I think so.
There's a good chance. As long as the missus says, yeah, Chris, go ahead and have some fun, then I'm good to go.
Yeah, because we'd love to have you out, obviously. And we'd definitely put you on the docket.
Yeah.
I can give you some information. Obviously, we've got rooms at the Sheraton Guildford for $105. You can upgrade a little bit, where your meals and stuff are covered for another $40. You get hors d'oeuvres, and your breakfast is covered, and we have food, and being a speaker, we'd definitely feed you.
You know what? That's always a good thing. I'm never worried about the money factor. It's a matter of, we got another one on the way due in January, February, so my wife's going to have her hands full if I take off.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, so you're going to need the extra calories, I guess.
That's the biggest problem there, is getting away. So we're going to take a shot at it, I think.
Well, giving you enough time, too, because it's June next year, that gives you 9-10 months to kind of make the plans. And maybe you can bring in mommy-in-law or something.
You know what? That is definitely a doable idea. Maybe my wife want to come for a trip. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe she'd why not? It's a nice hotel.
Yeah, and you're not too far away from downtown Vancouver. It's about 35 minutes tops.
45.
45 minutes, yeah.
35 on the SkyTrain,
10 minutes on the bus, yeah, okay.
But you're right beside the mall.
Yep.
Right beside,
awesome.
Yeah, right beside Guildford Martin, right across the street from Tim Hortons.
And they got
anywhere's across the street from Tim Hortons.
And they got Starbucks in every room for the Americans, so there you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, their coffee is Starbucks.
So what else have you been doing since Paracon Winnipeg?
Lots of research. I'm always, because of the work I'm doing, you can manifest and do anything you want really with this type of work. So what I've been looking at a lot at is people's law of attraction. Okay, we all know about The Secret. Okay, you want something, you make a vision board and you manifest it. Mm-hmm. What's been happening a lot with people, and what I found out is that law of attraction within your body, call it one of your bodies of energy, the law of attraction. If there is some kind of entity in there, if there is a disruption of energy, your law of attraction is actually going to either work against you or not work at all or something like that. I've been doing that for a lot of people, and all of a sudden their businesses are starting to pick up. People's luck is changing. Things are changing in certain ways for people that is a good thing for them. So I've been working in that a lot, doing research there, moving spirit. I just had one lady come in today. All of a sudden her hairdressing business is dead, and she's been doing it for 28 years. She had a spirit attachment in her law of attraction causing it to go backwards. Money was actually falling out of her purse. So we cleared that out and did some work. Hopefully that's going to help her. I'm sure it will.
Well, law of attraction for us, okay?
Everybody needs their law of attraction cleared out. It made a big difference with me and my business. I've got a few other businesses on the side that I've got. I do wristbands, okay? Everybody's seen these fancy balance band wristbands and different silicone wristbands and that type of thing. What I do is I work with radionics, which is working with frequency. Okay, so everything in the world has a frequency. Everything vibrates at its own frequency. So what I've got with these wristbands, the biggest one I've got, it's called the sleep band. Okay, if you're a person who has a lot of trouble sleeping, I put certain frequencies like melatonin, insomnia, and different things in this wristband. When you wear it, you sleep like a baby. So I've been doing a lot of work on that. They're moving pretty good. I want to do some marketing with them. I'm trying to develop a wristband right now for weight loss. boy, oh boy, there's my $1,000,000 if that could ever work, right?
Yeah, really. I'll be your first customer. You can. I'll be your thing. Yeah, there you go.
Guinea pig.
Guinea pig.
So whenever I got some free time, I'm always doing some research on what I can do to better somebody's life. A wristband, an energy, some kind of transformation for somebody, just to have a better quality of life, and that's what it's all about right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, we want you to send all your love our way for this Paracon so it can be successful, all right?
Oh yeah, you know what? All you got to do is put a poster on the internet or on Facebook, and I'll work on the poster, and it'll clear the way for the Paracon.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's coming. We have an artist. He's just finalizing. He's got a deadline and stuff, so he's finalizing all that. And
actually, John is my ex-tech manager, but he was a professional photographer for 20 years and is well-versed with art type stuff. So he's going to be volunteering to do promos, flyers, and posters right now.
yeah, and the fact is, he knows us, understands us. Huge. I'll get you to work on the poster so we can all be successful. It'd be great to have you come down and explain. We're also going to have an interactive area as well. We're going to put like dowsing rods and yoga and meditation and
First Nations dancers and drummers, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Well, my toolmaker isn't too far from there. He's in Spruce Grove, Alberta. So you know what? There's an opportunity that he might come out also and bring some of his goodies.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, all the different tools, they all have a different purpose. Like I work with pyramids. I also work with something that's called Asbecasa Pisces, and it almost looks like a football, but it's two pyramids with the bases soldered together and some wires around it. And that does different things in itself. I've also got some different rings. You know what we could probably do if you wanted? We could do a demonstration of how my tools work. I can run one of my tools through the microphone, and it'll actually hold onto your server, and anybody who listens to this, any recording of it, they're going to be able to feel the energy.
Oh, cool.
Okay? I've done this a few times, and it really works. I got about 50 videos on YouTube, and a couple of them, one of them especially, takes one of these rings, and I hold it over the microphone, and if people stand up and they're touching their keyboard, their computer, they actually feel the energy of it happening. And I've got one video where I take my big pyramid, and it's a headache cure. So I just hold the pyramid to the microphone, say the words, remove the headache from this person's body. And people are commenting, you know what, it worked, my headache went away.
So how does that energy conference actually occur? Now, you're working, like I say, you're working over frequencies here, like the same way we do when we do EVP sessions, where there's lots of things that we won't hear at the time when we're asking questions, but when we play back the recording, because it's in a slightly different frequency that our ear can't understand, but will be picked up on the recording. Mm-hmm. Is that similar to how you do it?
No. If I did it right now, if this was live, you would feel it. And then in the recording, you would feel it exactly the same way. It's the same energy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's kind of funny, you know, yesterday Ramona's trying to find Glenn's wallet. He's misplaced his wallet in this house, right?
It's somewhere.
It's somewhere. And it's, you know, she's saying it's downstairs by the columns, which I've got the columns down here in the basement. So I put the phone to my mom, and, you know, I'm saying hi to my mom and talking to her. And I said, here, Ramona. She goes, oh, my gosh, I can feel the energy coming off that woman already. And she's just over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Energy knows no boundaries.
No.
Over Skype, over the phone, thought energy. Thought is definitely energy. Like I said, clients in Australia, and when I'm working on them, they're half a world away, and they feel the energy immediately. Mm-hmm. Quantum energy goes at the speed of light.
Yeah, it would. I mean, like I said, I felt a lot better, and I definitely got rid of my cold quickly, and I came home and I took your advice, and I guess one of these days I'm actually going to have to sit down again with you. But that would mean I'd have to have time.
Just a phone call. I got to tell you a quick story. We're going to talk about healing. I've got a 2-year-old son right now, and about 6 months ago, he's going through some incredible teething problems. 2 o'clock in the morning, he is so upset and so sore, so inflamed that he can't even sit still, and nobody could touch him to console him or anything. So I figured I got to be able to do something, right? So my wife looks at me, and she believes in what I do. She doesn't understand it, but she believes it, of course. So I took my big pyramid, held it over his head, and I said the words, "Wrap Joshua in a blanket of compassion." In 1 second, he stopped crying, jumped off the bed, and started playing. My wife looked at me and said, "Okay, I know what you just did, but what happened?" We wrapped him in a blanket of compassion, and that soothed him. Just like that, just the intent of knowing what to use, when to use it, and how to use it, it just did the job. That's what he needed to stop the pain, and it stopped immediately within 1.1 seconds.
Wow. I mean,
yeah, I even impressed myself. That was cool. There were times where it's like, what am I doing? What's going on here? I come and sit in my office, and the phone doesn't ring. Nobody's coming in. I'm not making any money at it. It's costing me money. But I kept persevering because I know that this is what I needed to be doing.
That sounds like the Canadian Paranormal Society.
I don't know how many times I've turned around and said, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not doing it anymore. And then the next morning I wake up, I get a call, or I get someone contact me and say, I need your help. And then that's what makes a difference for me.
Yeah, and then when you heal somebody, you make a difference in their life, and they give you a big hug and say thank you. Wow, how good is that? Especially when people bring their kids in here. I've got a group of moms that are bringing their kids in left, right, and center with ADHD.
Yeah.
It's all demon possession that these kids have. It's all entities. It's all poltergeists. It's all these different spirit attachments that's causing these kids to be disruptive in school.
Well, I can bet you could find spirit attachments with Glenn. Mr.
Yeah, but you can guarantee there's some psychologists out there who will disagree with that.
Yeah.
Well, psychologists, you know what? They've got their place. The whole scientific community. I got a brother-in-law in California. He heads up one of the biggest cancer research facilities in the country. Okay.
Yeah.
Him and I have some conversations about cancer. He just looks at me and shakes his head and says, "What are you on?" I says, "I'm curing cancer. Are you?" So it's really interesting where the scientific community goes compared to the New Age people. That the New Age people are actually doing something, where the scientific community is just taking the funding and making money and not worried about a cure. If they found a cure, how many people would be out of work? Give me a break.
Oh, yeah, lots.
And how many of the pharmaceutical companies would not make money?
There would be a complete breakdown of all this level of scientific research, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, once the funding stops and they've found the cure, then that's the end of that.
That's right. The last thing that was ever found a cure for was polio.
Yeah.
That was how many years ago? Back in the 60s, 50s, and 60s.
And now suddenly it's a resurgence, isn't it?
Well, it's a different strain.
It's a different strain of polio.
Yeah, they've put it back in the water, sure.
Yeah, probably. I said, you could probably find something with Glenn.
Well, the good thing is we both deal with energy, regardless whether it's holistic or paranormal.
It's all energy.
It's the same thing. We can have entities or anomalies, as they want to call them now, instead of ghosts or spirits, stand behind you, and you can feel them behind you, because the energy coming from them actually sucks your energy out, and that's why you end up getting sick or violently vomiting or whatever, fainting, which has happened to quite a few of our guys. So,
or the energy passes through you and messes with your energy.
Plus, we're messing with equipment drains where the batteries have just died on us for no reason whatsoever, and then come back to life within a couple of minutes of leaving the location that we're in. So it's definitely an energy for me. Like even Einstein said that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just must transfers to a different form. That's right. And I believe that.
Yeah, definitely believe that. Well, it's just like I'm doing all the phoning and all the calls and everything like that with this Paracon and Spiritual Expo, because my partner Ramona, who's a psychic medium, keeps killing all the phones.
I'm not kidding either. She'll be on the phone and like 2 seconds later she'll drop. I'm like, okay, what happened?
Yeah. Oh, man, I tell you, it's frustrating. It takes 4 or 5 phone calls to get through a phone call. You know, it's, and she kills her computer, and she kills anything, and she can't wear a watch, because she's just so, the energy coming off that woman is just huge.
Yeah, she's almost scary.
Yeah. And Glenn can't hide, and I can't hide anything.
Well, when my mother passed away just after my wife, and my now wife, we would be at home, and it'd be around Christmas time, and all of a sudden the heat in the house would go down. We look at the thermostat, and it went from let's say 21 to 19. And she looks at me and says, "Did you touch the thermostat?" I says, "No." She goes, "Who touched it?" I says, "Who do you think touched it?" "My mom did. My mom always liked it cold." And my wife looks at me and says, "What are you talking about?" I says, "Watch this. We're going to go out tonight. We're going to set the thermostat at 25. Make it hot. We're going to come back, and sure enough, it's at 19.
Yeah.
I set it right in front of her. Mom went in and changed it. Okay, they can access electricity. They get into anywhere electrical, and they can adjust it. They can do that type of thing.
That's right.
I'm an audiophile. I love my stereo. I love my music. I got a $13,000 stereo system.
Okay, I'm jealous.
Most people spend $1,300 on their stereo. I spent $1,300 on my speaker wire. Okay, so I've got this fancy stereo, and all of a sudden it's not working. It's making noise. So I take it in. They say that can't happen. I says it is. So they take it, they fix it, bring it back. 2 months later, doing the same thing. They look at me. It's like, "We have to give you a new one. We don't know what's wrong with it." My late wife's spirit went in there and mucked up the works. She got in there and she screwed with it. Okay? Entities and spirits love electrical equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
Big time.
Phones, electrical. You got things that are dying. You do a quick clearing on it, and boom, it's up working again.
Yeah, it's the same with us. Like we'll get a complete energy drain on all of our equipment in a room, and then pull out, come back in 5 minutes later, and it's fully charged again.
Yeah. Constantly that happens. Constantly.
Also, they're taking energy from the environment as well, so you get temperature drops, which is kind of par for the course anyway.
You know what made me laugh the other day? I saw a trailer for a movie, R.I.P.D.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually saw one too.
I do that for a living. Okay, it was hilarious. It was hilarious, and I'm laughing. My wife's like, "What are you laughing at?" I says, "Are you looking at what's on TV here? These are cops that have died. They get sent back to here to arrest spirits that are causing problems."
Yep.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
I actually downloaded it last night, and I thought I'm going to watch this because it looks kind of interesting. And I was laughing pretty much 90% of the time.
Oh, it's one of those. So there you go. It's one of those movies you got to go see because you can laugh your arse off, right?
It depends on what kind of field you're in. Like in our field, it's humorous as hell because a lot of the stuff that you see on there correlates to some of the actual stuff that we've had experienced in the field.
Where do you think they get it from? Where do you think they get the ideas from? From people like us. Us crazy people. We're a plethora of imagination for them.
I mean, who else would sit around in a dusty, dark, uninteresting building for like 8 hours?
That sounds like
with a flashlight and a camera.
But one of his commercials has that. With the sitting. What is? How do you?
Oh, that was. I actually did the Grinch. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but I actually switched it to How the Grinch Stole Ghost Hunting.
You want to hear this?
No, I'll actually play it later. I'll actually be on a commercial break when we do the actual full show, so they'll get to hear it anyway. But it's me imitating
Jim
Carrey.
Oh, okay.
How the ghost stole ghost hunting.
But I sound like Jim Carrey, so there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because he's from the east coast of Canada and I'm from England. But there you go. But anyway, like I said, you got into it. An interesting point in your life.
It was definitely a transitional point.
Yeah, I got into it as a young child. Like I say, my mother and grandmother were both mediums.
We're going more towards the spiritualist side as well. Find religion is more about power and money, so.
Oh, exactly. If there is no religion in the world, there'd be no wars. Come on.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I believe in a superior being, or a higher being than us. But I'm not affiliated to any particular church, sect, or whatever.
Yeah. That's our beliefs or our systems or, what can we say?
I believe in the Church of Chris. You know what?